The world has lied to you. It told you that if you were good, you would be rewarded. It told you that if you were patient, your turn would come. It told you that kindness is the ultimate social currency. But as you sit there today looking at your bank account, your stagnant career, or the dry, disrespectful tone of the people in your life, you know the truth. You aren't being kind, you're being predictable. The world doesn't look at your constant availability and see a good man. It looks at you and sees a man who has no other move. Right now, your patience, your generosity, your availability are not being read as virtue. They are being audited as a lack of options. Machiavelli warned that the man who tries to be good among the wicked will be destroyed, not attacked, destroyed quietly. Think about the last time you helped someone who wouldn't even rearrange their schedule for you. That friend who only calls when they need something. You answer every time. When you need them, they disappear. You told yourself you were building goodwill. You weren't. You've trained them to see your time as unlimited, your presence as guaranteed, and your absence as impossible. And anything that is guaranteed is never respected. It is consumed. Machiavelli said, "It is safer to be feared than loved." Not because fear is cruel, but because love is fragile. It breaks the moment it stops being useful. By being consistently kind, you removed all risk. You became safe. And in power dynamics, safe is another word for disposable. They don't respect your help because they know you don't have the nerve to withhold it. They don't value your presence because they never had to fear your absence. You aren't choosing peace. You are submitting to a hierarchy that already ranked you at the bottom. That's the part most men refuse to face. Kindness without the capacity for violence is not morality, it's exposure. If you cannot walk away, your generosity is not a choice, it is a survival strategy. Machiavelli warned that the man who insists on being good among the ruthless doesn't become respected. He becomes useful, and useful men get drained, not rewarded. You think you are being understanding. They think you are safe to use. That is why you are ignored in meetings. That is why you are taken for granted in relationships. That is why people disappear. The moment you stop giving, you aren't a saint. You are a placeholder. Look at your life. You reply fast. You forgive fast. You explain yourself. You stay available. You think this makes you decent. It makes you manageable. People treat your boundaries like suggestions because you taught them they can wait you out. Your silence eventually turns into effort. Your patience eventually turns into submission. Today, that ends. We execute the Machiavellian pivot, the shift where your kindness stops being seen as a lack of options and starts being read as a calculated choice. In the next minutes, I'm going to expose why people immediately sense when your kindness comes from weakness, the exact signals that mark you as harmless, and how to flip the perception without explaining yourself, arguing, or raising your voice. There are 3 behaviors you're displaying right now that quietly erase your authority. If they don't stop, everything else you build will keep getting undermined. Most men will click away here, because killing the nice guy feels like dying. But if you're ready to stop being tolerated and start being respected, stay. This is where the pivot begins. You think you are building a reputation as a reliable man. Machiavelli would look at you and see a man building his own cage. In the real world, not the polite fantasy you were trained to believe in, kindness is not a virtue unless it is backed by the capacity for absolute coldness. If you cannot be cruel, your kindness is not a choice, it is a biological necessity. It is the only strategy a weak man has to avoid friction. And the world does not reward necessity, it exploits it. Look at your daily behavior, not your intentions. Intentions are irrelevant. Behavior is law. You answer messages immediately, even when you are busy. You stay polite when someone disrespects your time. You tolerate tone you would never use on someone you respect. You say yes when your body is already saying no. You tell yourself this makes you dependable. What it actually does is broadcast something very specific. It tells everyone around you that you absorb pressure instead of redirecting it. It tells them there is no consequence for pushing you. It tells them your boundaries are negotiable, temporary, and ultimately fictional. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. A man who insists on being good among the ruthless is not rewarded for his virtue. He is quietly destroyed, not attacked, not confronted, destroyed through erosion. Think about your work life. That coworker who asks for one more favor right as you are about to leave. You say yes, not because you want to help, but because you are afraid of the awkwardness of saying no. You call it teamwork. What you are actually doing is teaching them that your time has no cost. And if your time has no cost, your presence has no value. Respect is not granted to those who comply. It is granted to those who can withdraw. You cannot buy respect with submission. You can only rent approval, and approval is revoked the moment it becomes inconvenient. You are currently suffering from social overavailability. You are the man who always picks up the phone on the first ring. You are the man who always replies to the text within 30 seconds, even when the person on the other end took 6 hours to get back to you. You think you're being attentive. To the person on the other side, you look desperate. You are signaling that you have nothing better to do. You are signaling that your internal world is so empty that their breadcrumb of attention is the highlight of your day. By being constantly accessible, you have stripped yourself of mystery. By stripping yourself of mystery, you have stripped yourself of leverage. You have turned yourself into a commodity, and commodities are always traded at the lowest possible price. This is why you are taken for granted. This is why you are overlooked. This is why people feel comfortable disappointing you. You have made disappointment safe. Let's look at your relationships. You wonder why the woman you're interested in, or even the partner you're with, seems to have lost that spark of admiration for you. It's because you've become a safe bet. You've become the man who is too nice to leave. You provide a safety net of kindness that allows them to explore their own boundaries without ever fearing the consequence of losing you. You have removed the dread of loss. Machiavelli warned that it is safer to be feared than loved, not because fear is cruel, but because love is fragile. Love is held together by obligation, and obligation collapses the moment it stops serving interest. Fear is held together by consequence, and consequence does not require emotion to function. By being consistently kind without the ability to withdraw, you eliminated consequence. You made yourself a playground, a safety net, a background presence. You became the man who is too nice to lose, and therefore never truly chosen. You listen, you support, you understand, and while you are busy being emotionally available, your authority is being liquidated. You sit there while someone vents about their life, their chaos, their failures, and you tell yourself you are being strong. What you are actually doing is financing their comfort with your focus. They leave lighter, you stay heavier, and they come back again, because you are reliable in the worst possible way. This is not generosity, this is extraction. Now look at the way you handle disrespect in public. Someone makes a joke at your expense. The room pauses. Everyone is watching, and you laugh. You smile. You play it off. You think you are showing confidence. You are not. You are signing a contract. You are declaring yourself the punchline. You are authorizing them to climb by stepping on you. You are telling the group that your status is flexible downward but never upward. Every time you let a small disrespect slide in the name of kindness, you are handing bricks to the person building a wall between you and power. This is the execution of the self. You have been conditioned since childhood to be agreeable. You were taught that being good meant being easy to handle. You are still operating like a child seeking approval from a teacher, but the teacher is gone. What remains is a world full of adults who will take every inch you refuse to defend. They do not see your patience as wisdom. They see it as a lack of spine. They do not see your kindness as strength. They see it as surrender. You are currently leaking power in every interaction because you are obsessed with being liked. But being liked is the consolation prize for men who are not respected. You can be liked, and still be the first person fired when things get tough. Why? Because liked people are expendable. Liked men are tolerated. Liked men are the first to be ignored when things get serious. The man who matters is not liked. He is reckoned with. If there is a tightness in your chest right now, it is because the mask is cracking. You are realizing that your virtue has been covering your fear. You have been hiding behind kindness because you do not know how to carry the weight of being a man who demands things from the world. You hoped your goodness would be noticed. You hoped patience would be rewarded. You hoped effort would speak for itself. It never does. Tables are not offered. They are occupied. This is where the Machiavellian pivot begins. Not with cruelty, but with selectivity. Not with anger, but with consequence. From this moment forward, kindness is no longer your default setting. It is a premium resource. It is conditional. It is revocable. It is granted only where respect already exists, and withdrawn the moment it does not. If your kindness cannot turn into absence, it is not kindness, it is dependence. You are not choosing to stay, you are afraid to leave. And people can sense that instinctively. This is why your generosity is read as weakness. This is why your patience backfires. This is why your presence is consumed instead of valued. If you have felt the sting of being bypassed, if you are tired of your generosity being audited as weakness, then drop this in the comments. I am done being a servant. We are moving past the diagnosis. You know you are being used. You know you are being bypassed. Now you must learn the cost of access. You must learn how to turn your presence into a high-value asset by making your absence a terrifying possibility. The nice guy is dead. The sovereign is beginning to wake up. We are about to strip away the secondary behaviors that are keeping you in the basement of the social hierarchy. You have spent your entire life building a reputation for being easy to work with. But look around. You have mistaken compliance for value, and that mistake has quietly hollowed you out. You believed that being easy to work with would make you indispensable, that removing friction from everyone else's life would earn you protection, gratitude, or promotion. What it earned you instead is invisibility. In the Machiavellian world that actually governs outcomes, the man who never refuses becomes background noise. Your agreement has no weight because it carries no risk. Your presence has no gravity because it is guaranteed. You have trained everyone around you to assume your availability, and once something is assumed, it stops being respected. Look closely at how people approach you. They do not ask, they inform. They do not appreciate, they expect. The friend who calls for a ride speaks as if you are already on the way. The family member who needs money frames it as an emergency, knowing you will absorb the discomfort rather than create tension. You call this loyalty, they call it access. In their internal accounting, your kindness is not generosity, it is infrastructure. You are the road they drive on without ever thinking about who built it. Every time you understand bad behavior, you reinforce this system. When someone arrives late and you smooth it over, you tell them that your time is flexible and therefore cheap. When someone disrespects you and you keep the peace, you tell them your dignity has no enforcement mechanism. They learn very quickly where they can relax their standards. Notice how these same people behave around those who can impose consequences. They show up on time. They choose their words carefully. They self-correct. Respect appears the moment risk appears. Your kindness removed the risk, so respect had no reason to exist. Your professional life exposes this most brutally. You stay late. You take on extra work. You absorb stress that was never assigned to you. You think you are proving commitment. What you are actually doing is labeling yourself as a utility. Management does not promote utilities. They extract from them. Why would they elevate the person who quietly keeps the machine running at their own expense? Your reliability has become a ceiling. You are not being prepared for leadership. You are being optimized for output. Your kindness is being taxed until exhaustion, and when you finally break, you will be replaced without ceremony. This pattern repeats everywhere, because it is not situational, it is behavioral. You are over-present. You are over-responsive. You are too visible. In Machiavellian terms, you have no shadow. A man without a shadow cannot intimidate, cannot intrigue, cannot command attention. You appear everywhere, instantly, predictably, which strips you of leverage. People do not miss you because you never leave. They do not fear losing you because you have never shown the capacity to withdraw. This is where the law of the ghost becomes unavoidable. A ghost is powerful because its presence is uncertain. You have made yourself certain. To correct this, you must introduce absence deliberately and without announcement, not as punishment, not as drama, as recalibration. When you stop catching people, they fall. When you stop smoothing consequences, they feel friction. When you stop absorbing dysfunction, others are forced to confront their own inadequacy. Only then does your previous kindness register as value rather than entitlement. Your greatest fear has been conflict. You disguised it as morality, maturity, and patience, but it was fear. Fear of silence, fear of being disliked, fear of being framed as difficult. Machiavelli understood that conflict is the gatekeeper of respect. Without the willingness to clash, you cannot hold ground. Every confrontation you avoided compounded into a debt of disrespect that now defines your position. You traded sovereignty for comfort, and comfort never pays dividends. Examine how rooms respond to you. Do conversations shift when you enter, or do they continue unchanged? If nothing changes, you are not a presence, you are a fixture. Fixtures are ignored. Men who matter alter the atmosphere. They do so not by being loud, but by being selective. They do not agree reflexively. They do not fill silence nervously. They do not rush to reassure. They allow tension to exist, and tension creates attention. The truth you have resisted is simple and brutal. People do not want endless kindness. They want standards. Standards imply exclusion. Exclusion implies consequence. Consequence creates respect. A man with standards is unpredictable because access to him is conditional. A man without standards is manageable because he can be waited out. You have been waited out your entire life. This is where severance begins. You are not confronting. You are not explaining. You are not negotiating. You are withdrawing. You are auditing who expects access to you without earning it, who drains you without reciprocation, who grows comfortable in your generosity. Those channels are closing. No announcements, no justifications. Your silence will do the communicating your words never could. What follows is not hostility, it is reclassification. You are no longer a receiver responding to demands. You become a transmitter setting conditions. Your internal frequency shifts from approval-seeking to position-holding. People will feel this shift immediately. Some will adapt, some will resist, some will disappear. All outcomes favor you. We are finished observing the damage. What comes next is the controlled blackout that forces recalibration across every relationship you have allowed to overreach. If the idea of being resented by people who benefited from your weakness terrifies you, then stop now. But if you are ready to see how quickly respect appears when access is no longer guaranteed, stay locked in. The Machiavellian pivot is no longer theoretical. The first withdrawal is imminent. It's time to stop the leak. Right now, you have allowed your kindness to become a constant. And in every system that governs power, a constant has no price. Air is essential, yet no one bows to oxygen. You did this to yourself. You turned your presence into something people expect, rather than something they earn. If you want to be valued, you must become a variable. You must introduce the possibility of your total absence. This is the strategic blackout. Think about your phone. Specifically, the people who text you only when they are bored or when they need a quick favor. You've noticed the pattern. They send a low-effort message, and you, eager to prove your worth, reply with a paragraph. You are over-investing in a failing stock. Every time you double text or reply instantly to someone who takes 5 hours to acknowledge your existence, you are signaling that your time is worth less than theirs. You think you're being responsive. Machiavelli would tell you that you are broadcasting your own social poverty. You are showing them that you have nothing better to do than wait for their signal. Starting today, you are going to implement the blackout. And understand this clearly. This is not about pretending to be busy. Pretending is still asking for approval. This is about becoming unaccounted for. When someone who treats you as a convenience reaches out, there is no response window to manage. There is no excuse to craft. You simply do not appear. No explanation, no apology. When you explain your absence, you are asking for forgiveness for having a life. You are acknowledging that they have a right to your time. They don't. Silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty restores leverage. The moment you go silent, something shifts. They wonder, they check, they reread the message. They feel the first tremor of loss. Not because they miss you emotionally, but because a resource they assumed was guaranteed has become unreliable. That unreliability is the seed of value. People only value what they might lose. The world operates on investment psychology. We only value what we have to work for. By making your kindness free, you have made it worthless. You are the man who buys the expensive dinner for a woman who hasn't even given you her full attention. You are the man who does the unpaid overtime for a boss who doesn't know your last name. You are trying to buy respect with favors. It is a loser's game. You cannot buy respect. You can only extort it through scarcity. You must make people work for your kindness. It must be a prize they win, not a charity they receive. Consider your yes. You say it so often it has lost its flavor. You say yes to the weekend plans you don't like. You say yes to the extra work that isn't yours. You say yes because you are terrified of the no. But no is the only word that creates a boundary. No is the only word that defines who you are. A man who cannot say no has no yes worth having. The next time someone asks you for something that doesn't serve your mission, don't soften the blow. Don't say I'd love to, but just say I can't do that. The next time a request violates your priorities, do not negotiate with your own spine. Say no once. Say it cleanly. Then stop talking. This is where most men fail. They panic in silence. They rush to justify. They dilute the boundary they just tried to set. Do not rescue them from the discomfort. Let it sit. That pressure is not cruelty. It is calibration. Respect begins at the point where comfort ends. Your addiction is not kindness. It is validation. You need the reassurance that comes from being seen as helpful, generous, agreeable. You chase the label of great guy because it numbs the fear of being irrelevant. But great guy is not a compliment. It is a classification. It means safe. It means exploitable. It means controllable. Machiavelli warned that he who seeks to be loved places his fate in the hands of others. You handed your peace, your confidence, and your authority to people who barely notice you. Look at how you handle ghosting or flaking. When someone cancels on you last minute, you say no worries, totally understand. You just lied. You do worry. You don't understand. And by saying those words, you just told them that your time is a playground they can visit whenever they feel like it. The Machiavellian response is not confrontation. It's a withdrawal of access. If they flake once, they don't get a second chance for a month. If they flake twice, they are dead to you. No closure talk. No, hey, I felt disrespected. Just a cold, clean cut. A commander doesn't negotiate with subordinates who break the rules of engagement. He simply terminates the contract. You are currently suffering from low-status empathy. You feel bad for everyone except yourself. You worry about hurting the feelings of the very people who are currently stepping on yours. This is a mental sickness. You are prioritizing the comfort of your predators over your own survival. You need to develop a targeted coldness. This isn't about being a jerk. It's about being expensive. You must become a luxury that only the worthy can afford. Your time, your advice, and your labor are the most valuable assets you own. Start treating them like gold, not like dirt. The people in your life are going to react to this pivot. They will call you selfish. They will say you've changed. They will try to guilt-trip you back into your old role as the reliable servant. Do not flinch. This is the extinction burst. It is the last-ditch effort of a parasite to keep the host from shaking them off. When they complain about your new boundaries, It is proof that the boundaries are working. It is proof that they are finally feeling the price of your presence. If they don't like the price, let them shop elsewhere. You are clearing the room for people who can actually pay in the currency of mutual respect. We are moving into the final stage of the transformation. You have diagnosed the lie. You have executed the blackout. Now we must discuss the re-entry. When you do choose to show kindness, it will no longer be seen as your only option. It will be seen as a sovereign act of grace. People will treasure it because they know you are capable of withholding it. They will value your yes because they have felt the cold bite of your no. Are you ready to stop being a good sport and start being a player? The next part of the pivot is about frame control. It's about ensuring that when you do speak, the room listens, not out of politeness, but out of necessity. If you are still trying to be liked, leave now. If you are ready to be respected, stay. The final adjustment is about dominance without noise, about authority without explanation, about becoming a man whose kindness is feared to be withdrawn. Look at yourself one last time without flinching. If you are still searching for a polite way to implement these truths, you have already failed. There is no polite way to stop being a slave. There is only the cold, hard snap of the chain breaking. You are currently standing at a crossroads. You can either go back to being the reliable background character in everyone else's story, or you can become the uncontested director of your own. Machiavelli did not write to comfort crowds. He wrote for the prince. And a prince does not ask for permission to rule. He occupies the throne and waits for the world to adjust. You must understand that the nice guy you've been playing isn't just a personality, it's a negotiation tactic for the powerless. You've been using kindness as a shield because you are too afraid to carry a sword. But a shield without a sword is just a target. Today, the shield is shattered. Starting this second, you are implementing social seniority. From now on, you are the most important person in every room you enter. Not because you are louder, but because you are the most unmovable. When someone interrupts you, you do not stop talking. You continue your sentence at the same volume, with the same pace, looking them directly in the eyes until they feel the crushing weight of their own rudeness. You aren't being mean, you are enforcing the tax of your presence. If they want to hear what you have to say, they pay with their silence. If you have the courage to kill your old self, drop this in the comment, I am no longer a choice. Say it to cement your new reality. I am looking for the few who are ready to be feared for their standards, rather than loved for their weakness. If you can't even type those words, you've already accepted your role as a doormat. You have been a value provider for free. That ends now. Think about the last time you gave advice to a friend who never followed it, only for them to come back and cry on your shoulder about the same problem a week later. You listened for 2 hours, you gave them your energy. You drained your own battery to jumpstart theirs. Stop. You are not a therapist. You are not a dumping ground for other people's emotional waste. The next time they start that cycle, you cut them off mid-sentence. You tell them, I've already given you the solution. Until you execute it, I don't want to hear about the problem. Watch their face. They will be shocked. They might even be angry. Good. That anger is the sound of a parasite losing its host. You must become emotionally expensive. Most men are discounted goods. They are always on sale. They give away their anger, their joy, and their secrets to anyone who asks. A sovereign is a vault. No one should know what you are thinking or how you feel, unless it serves a specific strategic purpose. If someone tries to bait you into an argument, you don't take the bait. You don't defend yourself. You don't explain your side. You simply look at them with the bored expression of a king watching a peasant throw a tantrum. Your silence is a mirror. It forces them to see how small they are. Machiavelli knew that the man who cannot be provoked cannot be controlled. By remaining a cipher, you become a god in their eyes because they can no longer find the handle to pull you. You are currently leaking authority through your body language. You lean in when people talk. You tilt your head to show you're listening. You nod like a bobblehead to show agreement. Stop it. You look like a dog begging for a treat. A commander takes up space. He leans back. He keeps his head level. He speaks in a lower register. He doesn't fill the silence, he owns it. If there is a gap in the conversation, let it hang. Let the other person feel the pressure to fill it. Usually they will fill it by revealing their own insecurities or giving you information they shouldn't have. Silence is the ultimate interrogation room. You need to understand the Machiavellian pivot of after 30. If you are over 30 and still trying to be the nice guy, you are a tragedy. At this stage of life, kindness is no longer viewed as potential, it is viewed as defeat. The world assumes that if you haven't learned to be a predator by now, you are permanent prey. You must execute a hard reset on your entire social identity. You must vanish from the circles that don't respect you. You must stop attending the events where you are an extra. You must build a life so focused on your own mission that people have to apply for an appointment just to get 10 minutes of your time. This is the final truth. The people who used your kindness as a weapon against you will hate the new version of you. They will try to pull you back into the bucket like crabs. They will use guilt, they will use shame, and they will use concern as a weapon. Are you okay? You seem different. Translation: why can't I use you anymore? Your answer is silence. Your answer is a cold, unwavering stare. You are not okay. You are sovereign. You are no longer interested in being the best friend. You are interested in being the best version. Listen closely, because this is the last time I will explain the mechanics of your survival. First, you must face the diagnosis. Your kindness was never a virtue. It was a lack of options. You were nice only because you were too terrified to be anything else, and that pathetic charade ends right now. You are transitioning immediately into the blackout. You are withdrawing your availability from the market. No more instant replies that reek of desperation, and no more explaining your absence as if you owe the world an apology for having a life. You are becoming a high-value variable, not a constant resource. This leads to the scarcity reset. Your yes is no longer a giveaway. It is a premium asset with a heavy price tag. It must be earned through mutual respect and high-value exchange, or it is withheld entirely. Finally, you will occupy the sovereign frame. You are the director of every scene you enter. You set the tone, you define the boundaries, and you never under any circumstance justify or apologize for having standards. You are no longer seeking permission to exist. You are demanding the world adjust to your presence. The pivot is complete. Go out there today and start the purge. Identify the top 3 people in your life who are currently farming your kindness. Cut them off. No warning, no talk, just a cold withdrawal of your resources. Start your strategic blackout. If you don't have the stomach to do this, then delete this video from your history, because you are a waste of these truths. But if you want the respect you've been denied for decades, you will execute this with surgical precision. Most men watch the first minute of this and scroll back to their entertainment. They are the ones who will be destroyed quietly. You are still here. That means you have the predator DNA somewhere under all that social conditioning. But watching a video isn't enough. You need the vault. I want to offer a genuine opportunity to those of you ready for the next level. Join the membership now. By clicking that join button, you are stepping into a circle designed for commanders. Inside, I break down the specific dark psychology scripts and Machiavellian maneuvers that are far too dangerous for the public algorithm to handle. If you choose not to join, you are choosing to stay in the shallow end, trying to navigate a world of sharks with a map made for goldfish. Don't be the man who almost made it. Step up and join the elite, or stay with the prey. The choice is entirely yours. Like this video to save another man from a life of quiet desperation. Every like pushes this execution order to another man who is currently being used as a doormat. Help him find his spine. Subscribe and turn on notifications. If you miss the next lesson, you are losing the edge we just built. This is a journey of total reconstruction, and you cannot afford to skip a single lesson. Thank you for reaching the end. Most didn't. Most are too weak to face their own reflection. You aren't. Now go execute.